pregame test is the audio for it coming through. I know the video is, but
You're doing it on
Twitch. Yeah, so we need to pull Twitch.
I will reload the page.
Yes,
because...
the audio is coming through.
Okay, cool. I'd feel less bad about doing the test, day of if we had any viewers, but
yeah.
Time and tide make fools of us all. Anyway, so technical difficulties are over. Let's get the stream actually started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sound Goblin Thursday Gaming here on Sound Goblin Gaming. I'm, as always, your host, the Krampus.
I'm Hunter Green.
And I'm Vincent.
All right, Shiv will be joining us later, but he had some stuff to take care of. So we are just going to go ahead and get started with the game we started last week, Alan Wake 2, the, as of right now, latest game in the Remedyverse. Recent save.
Also side stream.
It's always something with a Sound Goblin stream. Always something. One of these days I'll remember everything. Screen share, Alan Wake 2, go live. Okay. Side stream up for you guys?
Yep.
Alright. So, last time we started the game, we met Saga Anderson, who is our protagonist for the moment. We also met her partner, FBI agent Alex Casey, a man who looks, sounds, and is practically identical to the main character of Alan Wake's Alex Casey detective novels, which is a fact he loathes and regrets every day of his life. And we came to Bright Falls about a mystery regarding bodies that washed up on shore that, in this particular case, was missing a heart.
I like the actual use for the thermos, now that I've seen it.
Oh, yeah. The thermos is your save point. If you hit F, it does a quick save. If you do G, you can do a manual save. Generally speaking, I will quick save when I get to a room, and then if I stop playing for a while, I'll drop an actual save. Anyway, so last time when we ended, we fought the resurrected corpse of Agent Nightingale, who came back as one of the Taken. And when we did, the waters of Cauldron Lake receded. And down here in Cauldron Lake Shore, we found the muddy, washed-up body of Alan Wake, who has been missing for 10 years. And that's where we left off. Our next thing is to investigate the flooded area, or the previously flooded area. Anytime you do an overlap in Saga's chapters, a section of the map that you were in will suddenly no longer be filled with water, and you can proceed to investigate for cool stuff. So rather than going into the next chapter, we're going to take a little side journey and go do some more sleuthing.
A sleuth.
So, an annoying thing about this game, in most survival horrors, or in, I should say, a lot of survival horrors, the death of an enemy is permanent. Generally speaking, for most of, the real high-quality titles I can think of that are survival horror, when you kill an enemy, they don't come back. That
Typically.
is most emphatically not the case for Alan Wake 2. Pretty much the woods are full of triggers that you can trigger that will just spawn another couple sets of enemies.
So kind of like control.
Basically, yeah, the same kind of thing where when we went back to previous areas, it would just populate with more enemies.
Except Control also had an experience system and infinite ammo.
Exactly. Now, the other problem is enemies are supposed to drop resources. They'll drop
Noticing a
these-
key word there.
Yeah, the enemies are supposed to drop resources. Little security caches that can that are filled with, little things like a few bullets, a battery or two for your flashlight, things like that. And you can actually get. We're going to go over charms in a second here when we're officially introduced to how we get them. But there are charms we can get that give us various bonuses. And one of them is a charm that just gives you more drops from enemies. I'm convinced it doesn't work properly.
I noticed they are using RE4's inventory system.
Mm-hmm.
At least RE4 remakes.
Today's
I'm sorry,
catch-
not for RE2 remake.
R2 remake, yeah. Today's catch: a yellow perch and a mid-sized pike. Almost got a lake trout, but it gave me the slip. Saw an out-of-towner walking around in the woods just before sunrise. Had binoculars or a telescope or something. Taking notes. Didn't notice me. Good. Don't need the attention. Today's catch: just an old rubber boot. Some of the regular creepies roaming around again. Avoided them as usual. No one notices a quiet old fisherman. Not even the fish. Yeah, this is all conjecture, because they haven't talked about this at all in any interviews I've seen or any game discussion I've seen. I think what was supposed to happen was you were supposed to get enough ammo from the drops that you could refill what you spent on the random encounters and keep to some kind of equilibrium. It doesn't
There's
quite
something
work
written
that way in
here.
practice.
A poem? Or a riddle? Reminds me of the nursery rhymes I read to Logan when she was little.
1 bird for light, 2 for darkness, 3 birds for a fight, 4 for a struggle, 5 birds for injury, 6 for misery, 7 for the ending, whatever it may be.
A little clothespin doll. Perfect weird souvenir for Logan.
That might be evidence.
I was
Don't
gonna
take
say,
that
might
home to
be-
your child.
That might be evidence, especially out here in the woods where you know there's a weird cult activating. Then again, the fact that this box is labeled Federal Bureau of Control does give you a
That's
hint
what makes that
to
even more frightening.
that and the 80s tech camera. Let's go to our cases board. Nursery Rhymes. Gets its own folder.
Creepy dolls. Mysterious rhymes. No weirder than anything else going on, I guess.
Strange doll.
Yeah.
But we don't have much info apart from there's a weird doll, and some rhymes, and some chalk drawings. Moving on.
Also, Shiv, if you've said anything since you entered, you need to check your mic again.
Yeah. This is another thing we're going to need one of those key items for. And not the item that is a key. From Alaska to British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, and all the way down to California, the Pacific Northwest area spans over a diverse range. Here you'll find 59 threatened or endangered species of plants and animals, including the mighty orca and the wild gray wolves. The Pacific Northwest region's ecosystems are wonderfully diverse. They include mountain areas like the Cascades and Olympic Ranges, as well as the dense forests around them. the west, there are several islands, and dry desert plateaus cover the east. Some of the common wildlife calling the Pacific Northwest their home are the robins and seagulls, squirrels and otters, cougars and deer, coyotes and raccoons, salmon and blue herons. Marshes and ponds of this area host an impressive variety of fauna, but majestic trees like the black cottonwood, big leaf maple, and Oregon ash thrive in the wetlands too. It is truly the nature lover's paradise. Also, just noticed, we should probably... Use a health pack. The nice thing I like is that when you use a health item, it usually switches you back to whatever weapon you were using last. So you can just immediately get
That's
back into
good.
the fight.
Another one of those rhymes.
Hero brave and strong left home to fight a wrong. From the woods came the wolf, so greedy and hungry, that he ate what he found in the house without a host. The hero returned to find she'd lost the thing she loved the most. Still can't actually do anything with those yet, but... Leave no trace.
Leave no trace, leave no orphans.
Same thing, really.
Hey, buddy.
You were a handsome deer.
If you say so.
Creepy.
Alright, where's the squirrel?
Took me a half second to figure out where you're going with that, but yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No.
No, they just posted it on the monitor there. Project Nursery Rhymes, working title, from Dr. Eugene Campbell to Dr. Marmot and Dr. Marmot. I have received your favorable review of my project proposal. Thank you. I need not remind you that my academic as well as recreational expertise in mythology, folklore, and writing will indeed lend the needed credibility to the project, in both leading it and creating the testing material. Dr. Eugene Campbell, PhD, Lead Researcher, Department of Parafictional Research. Experimentation Update. Dr. Marmot and Dr. Marmot. Here's the promised update on the project's first experimentations. The test items used were plastic animal figurines, teddy bears, toy cars, baby dolls. The iconographic nature of the test items was hypothesized to be beneficial for these research purposes. Test results negative. I will continue testing with more advanced items and scenarios. No response from you is necessary. Dr. Eugene Campbell, PhD, Lead Researcher. Double bag. Bathroom. Notes. Research into the reality-altering effects discovered in the Cauldron Lake area, utilizing fiction and art as a source, and then manifesting the results into existence. Methodology. The FBC's intent in this research project is to experiment with nursery rhymes, hereinafter referred to as fiction, in an attempt to recreate the conditions under which the writing would become reality. The hypothesis is that there are two ways in which the fiction affects reality, either by reflecting events that have come to pass, but that are not known to the later creator, whose act of creation therefore becomes the catalyst for these past events, after which they serve as the source of their own inspiration, or by the fiction itself being the initiating force in its present timeline, using the creator as a conduit. In the experiment, we will create nursery rhyme text with a specific function, and then use the depicted dolls and symbols as needed via a careful testing process, with the purpose of the story, told in the fiction, manifesting itself in real life. A variety of combinations involving the dolls, symbols, and rhymes will be tested in order to collect large amounts of data, with the hope that a pattern will appear. Methods will be adjusted in the testing based on our results.
The FBC is definitely playing with things they don't fully understand.
That's pretty much the
That
job
always
description.
goes well.
Yeah.
So we picked up the wolf doll and the hero doll.
I thought it was a cat.
Nope. Test sites in Cauldron Lake. Location: Witchfinder Station 2, Streamside 1, Cauldron Lake Rental Cabins 1. You'll usually find one document like this in all of the areas where the rhymes are present, and they will tell you where or how many rhymes there are in the given area. They won't say where they are. They'll just say, there's 2 by Streamside, there's 1 by the campgrounds, things like that. Make sure I have not missed any of the dolls. Hero, I have the wolf. I got the crow, raven. From further out. Moose. Ah. 7:21. Tip of the day. When nature calls on a hike, check the direction of the wind before answering. Observation. Hikers have broken off branches of some of the trees down by the lake to make an illegal fire. Tried to fix some of the damage, douse the area. We put up more instructional signs. I also found some tracks I couldn't recognize. Pretty big. Wolverine? Or footprints that were smeared. Either way, they were wandering around in strange patterns. Be a sick animal. I need to keep an eye out. 7:24. Poem of the day. The sun as she sleeps knows not the woes of men, who toss and turn and worry and fret, and wish they had her blissful slumber. Observations. Picked up a bunch of trash left by tourists despite posted guidance. Humans are the worst. 7:25. Thought of the day. Every majestic pine was once just a wee acorn. Observations. A lot of new growth in the area. Some of the saplings I planted earlier are really thriving. Must be all this rain. I don't mind it either. Great sounds to sleep to. It's amazing what a good night's rest and a warm cup of tea can do. So checking something real quick here. Oh yeah, Shiv is in the call.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Been in the
We
call for a
just
while.
entered him.
Oh, that's fine.
Yep.
He's probably got it on while he's doing other stuff.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Either that, or we're screwing with the audience at home and Shiv really isn't here. Or he's been here the whole time.
We wouldn't do that to them.
Yes, we would.
I mean, I hadn't thought about it before. Otherwise, I totally would have.
What audience?
Exactly.
Well, unless one of you is in the channel as well, or is in the thing as well. We have one here.
Probably just a bot.
From both directions to manifest itself.
I'm watching you, bot.
Reality in our
If you're not a
world
bot,
eroded
say
by
something and
repeated
prove it.
Dark lore tied to a location and a counterpoint. A work of art, a horror narrative crafted in the depths of the dark place, connecting to the story on the other side to reach out through the weakened veil. A story of a lawman whose heart was cut out of his chest. 2 corrupt men killed by their own twisted ambition. A haunted old woman drowned in a bathtub. Twisted reflections on the other side of the mirror. arcs stabbing through realities, amplifying the influence of the dark place. These elements working in conjunction made a trickle that became a torrent, a wormhole, a vortex, and the art, the map, became the nightmare territory where the dark place encroached on our reality, a blanket over it, where they all overlapped, causing reality to twist and loop like a bad dream, remolding anything and anyone within its dark horror design.
Alan continuing to be creepy.
Yep. And before we get started with the stuff with the poems, we have another one of these.
There's another lunchbox.
Alex Casey lunchboxes. See, we got 9
That's
manuscript fragments from that.
Ah,
Obviously, you're going to succeed, or else you wouldn't be the hero. Duh.
How profound. Oh, there's our shotgun book.
Yep. For every weapon we get a book in the mind place where we can upgrade them. I am specifically waiting for 16 fragments so that we can get fluid motion for the shotgun.
Ah,
There are good things to pick up for the pistol too, but generally
That's
speaking,
important.
because we're playing on story, one headshot tends to be death for most things. And in the times when it's not, you really need to be putting more than one shotgun shell into something.
ah, profiling. Okay, that makes more sense than what I was reading that as.
What are you reading it as?
Ruffling. And I was like, what? What?
Okay. So now properly armed with some more information, let's go and take another look at this puzzle. Alright. The hero, brave and strong, left home to right a wrong. From the woods came the wolf, so greedy and hungry that he ate what he found in the house without a host. The hero returned to find she'd lost the thing she loved the most. So basically, a puzzle for the poems is going to have 5 icons and some kind of like narrative in the poem, and you just have to put the dolls where you think things should go. So I believe this one is hero in the boat and wolf. Yeah. And if we get it right, you get that
Something
effect.
feels different. I should look around.
And you always want to make sure you
Oh boy, wolf
re-grab
rings.
the dolls, because they're reused for every other puzzle. If you solve them,
What is this? What the hell?
you get weird tracks that will lead you somewhere.
A charm. Cute. It'll go great on the bracelet Logan made for me.
Yep, just going, oh, a charm cute is a perfectly reasonable thing to think.
That was
After following
strange.
weird, strange
Gotta keep
facts
an
that
eye out
suddenly
for more of
appeared,
these rhymes.
and gave you access to a small crib that is now filled with dark blood.
Yeah.
Oh, cute and charm.
So yeah, like I was saying before, we have a charm bracelet that has 3 slots in it. Every time we solve a nursery rhyme, we will get one of these charms from following the trail. There are certain other charms that you get at the end of certain subquests, but the majority of the charms that we get in the game are going to come from these nursery rhymes.
Are they predetermined or random?
As far as I know, they're predetermined.
Okay.
The charms are predetermined.
Now, the one we got is by far the most common one we will get, which is the coffee mug charm. If we die, the mug charm shatters, but we get an extra life. We will put it on the charm because I don't have anything better to put there, but because we're playing on story, there is almost never a time when we're going to be relying on one of the cup charms. And in fact, there is a set of 3 very specific charms that I used for my entire playthrough the first time, and never switched off of them.
We've reached the car, Anderson. How's it going down there?
I think I'm done here. I'll meet you at the parking lot.
So the game will tell
I've been thinking
you...
more about the cult of the tree. What sort of cult refers to themselves as a cult?
In my experience, they don't.
We're not seeing the full picture yet.
Yeah, so the game will be nice whenever it gives you the objective of check the previously flooded areas and
Yeah.
tell you when you've found all of the points of interest. It will not do... It will do that even if you have not solved all of them, because there's 2 stashes out there that I don't have the right key item for, and we still have to go back and do that one puzzle that we found on the way up here, which thankfully the game just marks for us.
Nice.
Okay.
But it will only mark ones that we have actually found. It will not mark ones that we know. Like, when we got the document that said this is how many there are in a given area, it won't mark the ones in that area for us. We have to go find them.
That's fair. Like, it's one thing to just tell us where it is, but I like that just giving us a checklist and say, go explore.
Also, the
It's
maps
like, you
are
will
not...
know when you're done by that.
The maps are not big by any stretch of the imagination. The Cauldron Lake one, I think, is one of the biggest.
Makes sense.
Light, 2 for darkness. Yeah. That's just
I have a
one word
weird
for light.
feeling something's changed.
And this one, there's no real...
Another charm for my bracelet.
Son of a bitch! I heard you.
I think say it's the first enemy we've actually had all string.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's a very faint, like, radio sound that plays when you're around the ones here in Cauldron Lake.
Yeah.
That sounds very much like one of these dudes muttering. Alright. Well, anyway. We solved that guy. So let's go ahead
What's
and...
your new charm?
This is the Hammer Charm. Attack stagger enemies more often.
Ah.
Like I said, for these guys, doesn't matter. 1 hit to the head kills them. That is not the case in normal mode. Headshots are not inherently lethal. They're more damaging, sure, but... Okay. I think there is one more riddle that we can access. Because they mentioned that there is a riddle near Streamside. Now that the waters have rescinded... There's the Streamside stash key. Hang out here for a second in the light.
Do you want me to tell you where it is?
Yes, please.
The private cabin,
Private cabin?
northwest of where you are. Yeah, across the river.
Oh, here?
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
I mean, makes sense. It does say stream side up there.
Yes,
The stream side.
That is the stream side. Back the way we came.
should be right outside the cabin.
I came close to the cabin. I just stopped the couple of times. That son of a... I'm having a conversation, gentlemen.
So, they're Pirates of Darkwater.
Fucking monsters.
Don't remind me about that show. Still upset it got canceled.
Neither dropped anything. Oh, right. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
There's a rhyme over here.
Mother Crow sits in her nest, guarding her babies, doing her best to protect her home from the beast coming to feast, but only a hero brave of heart can keep the two apart. So, Crow. Hero.
Nah.
Could the crow...
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
It's okay, so they get really loose with the clues in these rhymes at time. The protecting the beast from her home line was supposed to make you think beast at home. Also, the hero was supposed to be separating the beast and the crow.
Ah,
They will get much more obtuse about these things later.
yeah, no, I probably, based on that thing, would have put the crow in the tree. Because that's typically where crow nests would be. That's what I was thinking.
Miriam and Matt, thanks for the lovely hike. Patty, came down from NYC and loved every minute of the trip. Lori and Bob, these paths have seen better days. Kev, nice views you got here. Mr. Lockhart, may I suggest adding some nice rest stops along the way? Camping do's and don'ts from your friendly park ranger. Do, hike and enjoy the scenery. Set up your tent. Enjoy a nice meal. Relax. Don't. Chop down trees. Leave your trash behind. Be loud and obnoxious. Start a forest fire.
Look at the
Glow in
moon.
the darkness and attack people with an axe.
No, that's not on the don't list. That means I can do it.
Guess so.
It might have been. We didn't scroll down.
I mean, that was the last thing on the actual thing.
No. No, there was a scroll wheel.
There was a scroll down. Give me a second. Turn in.
I mean, it's
on
not
the light.
important.
It was the last thing on the list of don't. Because you can very clearly see 4 things on
And remember,
don't.
always have fun.
Don't look at the moon.
But I find looking at the moon fun.
Quick save. Activate this as a save point from here on out. And if we keep going around this way here, we'll probably get to the stream side stash. I heard you.
You didn't hear anything.
Fuck you.
It's just the wolf. Don't worry.
Oh, -2.
That's 7 minus 2, thank you.
+2.
Plus 2. 6
The
plus
cult
2.
is leaving supplies around for themselves.
Oh, at least it's actual numbers this time.
It's 3 plus 3, so 6.
Was that a 3?
6 plus 2 is 8. Yeah. It's hard to see.
That is
Okay,
3
it
plus 3,
is.
but it's not very easy to see.
Yeah, I thought it was a 5. That's why I was like,
Yeah. I don't think we went over it before, but...
No, not going to read the note at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Not that there's going to be anything important.
Are you one of us, or one of them?
Yes.
So yeah, a couple things we got out of that one. The propane tanks are basically throwable grenades, but you have to shoot them. They do a lot of damage, but you kind of have to set up traps with them.
Right.
And the other thing that we got out of that box, we don't actually get to use. The other thing we got out of that box is called a rocket flare. However, that, I think, is a weapon only Alan can use.
It's only to get your reward for the call it the puzzle. Or the poem.
Ah, right, yes. Let me finish putting pages here. Let's go get that reward.
So it's not actually at the cabin.
Right.
The head towards the lake in the north.
Yeah, because you can see the tracks here.
Yeah, correct.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Another charm.
I heard you!
Good thing Logan made me this
I
bracelet.
would hope so.
Oh, the wolf!
Not being quiet.
Sometimes the wolves come with the shield of darkness, sometimes the wolves do not come with the shield of darkness.
It wasn't a tainted wolf, though. It was just a regular wolf.
To be fair, if a regular wolf is that close to you and growling,
It had the
shooting
evil,
it is the right answer.
It had the evil miasma about it.
You're in its home.
Also, the Kalevala Knight's Charm. Swap out here. Increase hand flare's duration and area of effect.
And yes, I know we are in its home. Still, shooting is the right idea. Unless you are okay with dying. Which, fair, you are in its home.
It's all a loop anyways.
It's fine. We'll just go back to the last time we drank coffee from a thermos.
Yeah, see? We have save points. You have save points, right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Should work on that.
I'm like a GTA character. I fall over dead and end up
The hospital.
Yeah.
You take a little bit of your money, get kicked out of the hospital, you're fine.
Yeah.
Same thing like when you go on a rampage, get arrested, you eventually just, you have to give up some of your guns. They let you loose with a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Manual save.
So we don't have bolt cutters yet, right?
No.
Nope.
Bolt cutters are fairly late in the game.
Gotta get.
Also, yeah, this is definitely sharing a lot of DNA with the Resident Evil remakes.
Uh-huh. More than a little bit. That's why I refer to it as cribbing from their homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, you can copy my notes, just change it a little bit so people don't see the difference. Let's see.
Bro,
Same
you get
answers.
these magical charms from solving puzzles instead of a shooting gallery. Also, that is just the RE 2, 3, and 4 remakes quick weapon select. Huh. That's a a lot of similarities to it. Though, to be fair, though, these are really good mechanics that they are taking.
Yeah. Read that one. That's the
Warning.
signs of tampering.
Activity detected. AWE. Event in progress. Cauldron Lake. What's an AWE? Casey, what exactly does the FBC do?
After New York, when I started looking for our friend here, their
Whatever
name
the fuck
came
they want.
up. I pushed them for any files they had on him, but got stonewalled. They have a reputation of showing up for weird shit. They have a presence here, and now we find our writer. How about that?
So, there are two separate things I want to talk about here about this particular section.
Is one of them that the Federal Bureau of Control has an AWE alarm, apparently?
Well, this is specifically a.
Altered World Event is their generic
Yes, I
name
know.
for it.
I mean, this is also literally a monitoring station they set up. So
Yeah.
So, number one, this gives us a timeline for both games that will be supported by text we find later in Alan Wake 2, and by things characters say later in the game. This alert is the same alert that comes up at the end of the Alan Wake DLC.
Okay.
So, as the events of the Alan Wake DLC are coming to a close, and Jesse is going back into the main control facility to deal with the hiss, this alarm goes off. So the hiss invasion is still happening at the time this alert is going
Well.
off.
Could the Alan Wake DLC technically be done after you beat the game?
True, yes. Hold on, another Alex Casey lunchbox.
Another one of those lunchboxes.
We're all in this together, hero. Have a heroic day. That gives us enough.
If you are able to do it after the story, it's still within the same basic time frame
Well,
of
yeah,
it's
the-
just been resolved.
Alan Wake 2 and the Remedyverse do not care about when the Alan Wake 2 DLC fits into the grand timeline of things. The actual Control game unlocked the ability to go to the investigations department after we got the ability to go into the final area. Like, there's a specific point in Control's story where Alan's voice starts coming out of the elevator, and it opens up the investigations department, which wasn't a button that was on the elevator before. So, from what they're doing, and like I said, from text that we will find later that supports this, and dialogue later that supports this, the Alan Wake 2 DLC took place during the Hiss invasion, and is still going on by the time the Alan Wake DLC ends. Or the Hiss invasion is still going on by the time Alan Wake DLC ends.
Technically, we never actually had an end to this invasion.
No, we didn't. Even when you beat the game, the Hiss are still in the building. Hold on one second.
Fluid motion, Saga cracked open the shotgun, sending the empty hulls flying over her shoulder, and slammed the new shells in faster than she had imagined possible.
Yeah, your upgrades aren't just like changing the guns, it's literally Alan Wake writing you being better at doing stuff.
Okay, I like that.
So the second thing I want to talk about, apart from the timeline thing, is when you get into this room and she asks Alex Casey what the FBC is, that flies in the face of the line she says at the lodge up there, where she says that the FBC is messing around with something we don't understand, typical. Which implies that she's not a member of the FBC, but that the FBI and the FBC know about each other, at least for Saga to have a derogatory opinion of them. I don't know why. I
Was
called
line typical or was it
It was typical.
okay?
the line she gave was the FBC is messing with something they don't understand. Typical for them. The canon you're supposed to take away from this is they expected you to hit this trigger before you started investigating the sunken sites. You're n- Casey and Anderson aren't supposed to know much about the FBC by this point in the story. They know that the Bureau exists because most people know that the Bureau exists, but nobody knows what the Federal Bureau of Control actually does. They think it's just a regular government organization and don't know about any kind of occult ties that the FBC has. It's just a weird thing where if you do the Witchfinder station before you come to the FBC station, you get conflicting information about exactly how much one group knows about the other. Alright.
You ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready. I don't think we can get to anything else about either of the key items.
Mr. Wake, we're taking you back to our field office in Bright Falls. You can freshen up there, and then we'll talk properly.
Hey, Mom. Before you say anything, I'm totally fine. Don't freak out. Dad shouldn't have even texted you.
Logan? No one texted me. What's going on?
I'm totally fine. I slipped, that's all. God, it's not the end of the world.
Put your father on the phone.
Okay. Dad, it's Mom.
Don't worry, hun. Logan slipped in the shower and bumped her head. She has a slight concussion, but I'm keeping an eye on her. Lucky I heard her fall. She could have drowned.
Jesus, David. Why didn't you call?
I tried. It didn't go through. She's fine, really. But what about you? You sound stressed.
No, it's, just weird case, that's all.
Well, if you need a hint, my years of board game victories tell me Colonel Mustard did it.
I'll keep an eye out for him. Love you, Dave.
Love you too, honey. Want to say bye to Logan?
Just tell her I love her. Bye for now. Is there anyone you'd like us to reach out to, Mr. Wake? You've been gone a long time.
No. No. They'd be in danger. It'll come for me.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Robert Nightingale. Do you know him? You were both here in 2010.
The Dark Presence got him back then. That's the last time I saw him. 13 years. Fuck me.
Tell us about the pages. You had what looks like a title page with you. Return. Is this the name of the story on these pages? The writer's name has been scratched out pretty violently, but your name can still be made out underneath.
Scratched out. Yeah. Scratch.
Did you write these pages, Mr. Wake?
I'm trying to remember. It's a crazy jumble, like a nightmare. It doesn't
American Nightmare?
make sense. I remember. I remember.
Interesting. Pause.
Yeah, hold on a second. It's supposed to be transferring into the Alan Wake section. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Yep.
I introduce you to Trevor, the technical difficulties goblin. All right, hold on a second. Okay. As I'm getting this to actually work. So, like I said, we made some pretty radical changes to Alan Wake 2, and we're about to get introduced to what I think is a pretty radical change here. So, Saga's sections are all fairly standard survival horror stuff. Alan's are different. So Alan's sections are a 40-person battle royale PvP.
Well, it's a really weird choice to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they changed the art style and everything, and, like, you know, like every battle royale, they've really gone in on the whole, you know, monetization and third-party cameos and stuff.
Well, I mean, the realistic style they use for the Saga sections would be too graphically intense to do in the Alan Wake sections with how many players they have at the same time.
Ah, that's true, yeah. But it's still just kind of jarring. I mean, you've got Alan here who's just standing around in his signature, you know, suit. He's even got the little backpack on with his, you know, messenger bag, which I think you can actually buy. But, like, Banana Wolverine. How does Banana Wolverine do this? Did Alan
That is the
imagine
mighty
Banana
Wolverine. He has been in the comics for, like, forever.
Look, I'm not going to say that monetization and third-party stuff don't have a place, but maybe Alan didn't need to start writing weird banana fanfiction. That's all I'm saying, especially in the dark place where, you know, things can manifest.
Was Remedy having some finance issues?
Remedy's always having finance issues. Remember, this game just made its budget back in November. It hasn't actually turned that much of a profit.
Well, not with developing an entire multi-person PvP mode. That's just going to take a lot of, you know,
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's servers, there's infrastructure costs. You have to appease all these third parties. I mean, like, Wolverine has to give as many shots as he takes to the contract. I mean, plus, as you can see, oh, there we go. Finally got the matchmaker. So luckily, Hunter Green was here to help me stream this mode, because, man, God help me if the servers ever go down. I guess just never be able to finish Alan Wake 2.
That's a weird choice. Maybe they'll put some sort of like patch that'll remove this section.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be weird to basically take half the game out, though.
Maybe they'll just put up like a set of like slides with a character's like with Alan sitting in a chair with like a pendulum behind him where it tells you what happened in the dark place.
No, sock puppets. 40 sock puppets.
Yeah. I mean, all art becomes real in the dark place. You're gonna be fighting like sock puppets made out of like weird beat up socks Alan's found. That'd be crazy.
I sure hope Disney doesn't copyright strike us. Baymax is there.
Oh yeah, if Disney wants to come after us, we're
I think
screwed.
the real problem is they spent all the money on like crossovers.
Yeah.
Also, Godzilla there in the background.
Well, I mean, Alan was probably like listening to Blue Oyster Cult on his phone.
That's fair.
The licensing for all this could have been cheap. It's like a My Hero Academia character.
My Hero Academia. Like I say, couldn't they at least have done the bus in like a weird, creepy style for the Alan Wake crossover?
I mean, the real question is, what does the bus represent in the Dark Place?
Maybe the bus is just able to traverse the dark place, like the bus is so ubiquitous and simple that it just shows up everywhere. You always expect the bus to be fantasy stories and stuff like that. A bus can technically transport something in fantasy stories, according to this guy.
Buses could transport anyone to a fantasy story once.
That is a fantastic line.
Yeah, also, I don't know what the umbrella is about. The umbrella is just... Now, Alan keeps the same, like, third-person controls from the first game, but that doesn't really serve
it
well
looks
in a
pretty
fast-paced
loose.
battle royale.
Yeah, the gunplay looks a bit loose compared to Saga.
Also, don't ask me to explain the pickaxe. There was a mine in the first Alan Wake game.
I'll just get wiped out by a soccer player
That also costs me a big
with the katana.
with a katana, yeah.
Oh man.
Alright. Yeah, very good. Alright, well,
Yeah, only placed 47. Bad showing for.
bad showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have picked a better place for us to drop.
Alright. And that has been the best joke I've thought of in a while. That's been the best joke I thought of in a while, and if you put a metaphorical gun to my head and ask me what I would rather be playing, a 40-man battle royale or this section, I don't know which I'd tell you.
Welcome. Well, we have a great show for you here tonight. Alan Wake is here. Alan Wake, one of my all-time favorite writers and guests on the show. He's here to talk about his latest book. And as usual, our houseman, Old Gods of
Late
Asgard.
night.
And you know where you can
Now this is the one legitimate shame in this game.
Looking up in places with
Yep.
no memory of how it got there. It was out of control. I didn't need another mugshot in the fucking town.
Isn't that Mr. Door?
Yes.
Had I already
So,
done the show? Was that a recording?
That's that Lance Riddick had passed away and thus could not reprise Mr. Door is a totally different character than Mr. Hat.
yeah. So, they bought the rights to Alan Wake back. They did not have enough money to buy the rights to Alan Wake
I felt a
and
strange
Quantum
pull
Break
toward
back.
the TV.
Shush, Alan. So, there has been a pretty significant shift. And by that, I mean they got a new actor, and they renamed the character Mr. Door.
Totally different than Martin Hatch. No relations in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. Certainly not. Now, before we get into this, because this is going to be a cutscene heavy first introduction, Alan Wake's sections are a separate campaign that runs concurrently with Saga's, but not in chronological order, until a very specific point, which will be obvious when we actually hit that point. So, at any point, once we get to the first save area in Alan's campaign, we can swap between doing Saga's story and doing Alan's story. There is no one good way to play through both of them in a way that makes things easier to parse.
Like, are there times it's basically going to force you to go back to the other one, or can you do like all of Saga, then all of Alan Wake?
The time where the two intersect is the one specific time where it will force you to be one or the other person.
Okay.
All the other times, we will be seeing things out of sequence. We will be seeing things from Saga's point of view, and then we'll be seeing them from Alan's point of view.
Okay.
But there's no... The chronology of Alan's chapters are so loose that apart from very specific moments where you see the two characters interacting, you cannot be sure of when and where this takes place. Apart from the Dark Place.
Yeah, like I presume that everything until points when we see them interacting outside the Dark Place would be takes place in Dark Place at indeterminate.
This is basically Alan trying to wrap his mind around what happened in the Dark Place. That's what the crux of Alan's chapters are. He's trying to figure out what's going on.
Good to see you, Alan. Great to see you. Welcome back to the show. Come on, sit down.
Can someone hop into the Twitch stream and see if the volume levels are good? I need to turn up the game a little.
It is so
Okay.
good to see
Currently.
you, Alan. This must be an exciting time for you. Tell me, does it ever get old?
Sorry, does what get old?
Publishing a new book.
Someone say something.
Saying
Testing.
stuff.
My
Testing.
friend, you look like you've been cooped up in the writer's
Okay,
room for
it sounds fine. The game's a little bit quiet, but not unreasonably so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game is unreasonably quiet on my end as well, so it's not just the Twitch stream. It's just this one's
Yeah, the Discord audio for this section is also quieter than like the Saga section we were just in. So
really means.
You and me both.
Well, our wait is over. Your new book, Initiation, hits the shelves tomorrow.
What?
That's exactly what every reader will be asking. This book is mind-bending. It's so cerebral. I mean, how would you describe it? An auto-fictional thought experiment? A horror story? A postmodern detective story?
Wait. This isn't right. I haven't written anything.
He's so humble.
Okay, you got me. Good prank, very funny. But yeah, sad to say, I've not written this. I'd remember if I'd written a book, right?
Or maybe it was written by your evil double. Well played, man! That is spot on! Playing the role here. Pretending the world of the book overlaps our own. That's very meta indeed. You see, Initiation tells the story of a fictional writer named Alan Wake, who is trapped in a nightmare, desperately trying to find the manuscript of a novel he has forgotten he has written. The book is set in New York, but it might not be New York at all. He is tormented by his dark doppelganger and guided by visions of a fictional detective he has written. That's right.
Quit spoiling the story, jackass.
In this book as well.
I guess we'll just keep doing this the whole show. The joke's on me.
But isn't that what you sign up for with autofiction? No, but seriously, I found the structure of the reality you build in the book fascinating. It reminded me of The Matrix. I mean, the writer is physically in his writer's room, trapped there, and he projects himself out to this dark dream of New York through the story he is writing. Like astral projection. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Go on. I should be taking notes here. This is great stuff.
Notes to that other Alan Wake in that room writing this as we speak? Are we all in your story, Alan? Wow. No, I wish you every success with your new book, Alan. I hope it's as successful as your best-selling Alex Casey series. Initiation hits the shelves tomorrow. After this, I'm sure we'll all be eagerly awaiting the culmination of this hero's journey trilogy of yours. A book called Return, perhaps. Man, thank you for one of the strangest interviews of My entire career, Alan. All this talk of meta narratives. I kept expecting to disappear once this scene ends.
Man, spoil the twist here too.
Hello?
So I'm going to admit, I looked him up last stream or before last stream, and I immediately
not right
forget what
here.
the actor's name is who
I
plays
needed to get
Orlando.
home. To Alice.
But I love him. He is a great actor. He brings a lot of like fun and character to the role. And yes,
Yeah.
that character's full name is Orlando Dorr.
What the hell was
Certainly
that
not
interview?
Martin Hatch.
Some kind of joke?
Yeah.
Initiation.
David Harewood,
I
the
never
actor
read a
David
for
book called Initiation.
Warlandor.
This felt like a bad dream. Could make a good horror story.
665.
Old Gods of Asgard. That name sounded familiar.
So, personal story here. Until very
I was a
recently,
mess.
I was.
I'd never heard of this talk show or Mr. Dorr before. None of it felt right. Was I losing my mind?
So, before when I started playing this game, I was on different medication than I am now, and I had really bad anxiety. Saga's chapters triggered it a little bit. Alan's skyrocketed it, because rather than being like RE4 style survival horror, it's more like, God, I don't want to say Silent Hill, like Silent Hill 2 Remake is what they were aiming for with
So you're saying a Silent Hill 2 remake was aiming for Alan Wake.
yes.
Ah,
The two have very similar. And hey, The Interpretation of Many Worlds by Dr. Casper Darling.
Ah.
Oh, and a Zane classic in theaters. Oh boy, are we going to talk about Thomas Zane. So yeah, when I switched to new medication, I was better able to handle my anxiety, and scary games didn't trigger it anymore. So I'm
Hey!
more...
I think I've been locked in! Anybody?
Fuck. Now I have to find the code myself.
We already found the code.
Great.
So yeah, now that I'm able to
There
better
was something
handle
here. A broken transmission I couldn't quite make out.
scary games, I'm able to get through Alan's
was
chapters better.
A message?
But
Impossible to say.
I still do not like Alan's chapters compared to Saga's. And from reviews I have seen, I am not alone in that opinion. As far as story stuff that we just went through, so we just learned about, in the cutscene that introduced us to Alan's chapters, Saga was grilling him about a book called Initiation. And in the Dark Place, Initiation has already been written.
No, the thing she's specifically asking about is Return.
Oh, right. Return. But yeah, Initiation is... Right. Initiation is the name of the chapters of Alan Wake's sections. They're all Initiation 1, 2, 3. Yada, yada, yada.
There was something in the studio with me. I had to get out.
This is the ritual to lead you all.
Waking up from the nightmare, I felt like a drowning man gasping for air. This place felt familiar. A ghost of a memory surfaced about riding here for countless days.
Okay. Welcome to Alan's mind place. Alan gets his own version of it. It is the writer's room. We have similar things as to Saga's room. We have a television here for if we see any television things that we can watch. We have a radio for any music tracks that we hear, including the end of chapter ones. And we have the initiation draft.
A plot board for mapping out a story. On the index cards, the nightmare that just happened to me. A summary of the story so far. But other notes as well. Warnings. I had written them. I couldn't remember what it all meant. The name Scratch filled me with dread. I could trust these words. I had to act on them. You must write to escape.
We actually look at the plot board. At the talk show, I thought I was home in New York, but none of it had felt right. I was trapped in the dark place, a nightmare beyond our world. Writer's room was my safe haven. My writing affected what was outside. I was trying to write a story to escape this place. The story was called Initiation. With the story I wrote, I projected myself out to look for a way to escape. I had tried many times, failed. This place made me forget. Everything Dor had said felt true.
To write more.
Shush, Alan. Was that part of my writing or coming from somewhere else? Dark place, trapped. Well, says we gotta get back to writing, so let's get back to writing.
This is the part where we cut to Typing of the Dead.
No, I wish.
Remember much.
I
I'm
wish
gonna
I
say, I
thought...
think,
Knew my thoughts and ideas could manifest as reality.
yeah, I think Crab is only willing to do one of those a stream.
I would have been willing to do two, but I didn't remember. Like, you needed to mention that, like, Monday, so I could have started out Typing of the Dead.
Depths of this prison for a way out. This room was my boat. Writing was my lifeline.
The entirety of our Alan Wake 2 players are just pulling gimmicks of Alan Wake actually being different games.
Yes.
Delving even deeper into the Resident Evil connections, Alan Wake, part of Alan Wake's section is a typing zombie game?
Remember that time that Alan Wake went back to high school in a visual novel?
Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. Welcome back. We have a great show for you here tonight. We'll treat all you Alex Casey fans out there. Alex Casey himself is here tonight. That's right. Sam Lake, ladies and gentlemen. The actor who has given his face to the famous detective in the film series. And of course, we have Alan Wake here. Best-selling writer, the books, the films are based off. Let's do this!
So if you're keeping track, Sam Lake is playing Sam Lake, the actor, who is playing Alex Casey in the movie versions of the Alex Casey novels. He is also playing FBI agent Alex Casey, the man who looks like Alex Casey from the Alex Casey novels, who looks like the actor who is playing Alex Casey in the movies, but isn't the same actor. He just looks like the actor who's playing Alex Casey.
Of course not, he's not the same actor. He's an
Sam-
FBI agent.
Sam Lake.
So, Alan, as the creator of the character, how do you feel about this?
Sorry, what?
I know it can be an awkward question with the man sitting right next to you, but I mean, how do you feel about him in the role of Casey? Does he look the part to you?
He looks exactly like I always imagined Casey to be. It's uncanny.
Thank you. That means so much to me. I'm a huge fan of your books.
So, what's the problem, Alan? Because on more than one occasion, you voiced your reservations about the adaptations.
It's not that. They're their own thing. They've gone with choices that are different from mine. I feel protective about my stories, and these adaptations... I don't know. I guess I just wish I could have been more involved in making them.
Yet another connection between him and Stephen
Stephen
King.
King, yeah.
This either.
Mm-hmm.
We have a clip from the new film Murder Case Casey. Should we roll it, or do you want to say something first, Sam?
Nah, just roll it.
This city was an old scar that refused to heal. The rain made it fester. It needed the sun, but there was only the night. I was tired. Insomnia covered me like a plastic film. I was watching the world through a rain-slick window, my own reflection haunting the view. I was trying to track down a missing writer. My only clue was a table lamp, shaped like an angel. The only thing to shed light on this sordid mystery.
That's great. Murder Case Casey. Great job, Sam. Very exciting and very meta. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Believe it or not, that was our introduction to a collectible.
What was that about a writer? About a lamp?
Damn it, Alan, will you stop nodding off on the couch?
Okay. So that was an introduction to a collectible that we'll be picking up at some point in the near future here. I hope you like hearing Sam Lake go on Max Payne as shit monologues.
I mean, it's appropriate.
Because yeehaw boy howdy. Change in these rooms. Now it is 565. The
So, is there something that they
area
give
code
you?
of the beast?
Is there something they give you that would give you the clue to go check that thing for the number?
Well, in the previous loop, we checked that thing and got the key. Or the
Oh, yes, I meant for, like, in the first place.
no.
Uh,
But you're limited to
it's
these areas, and the only thing that shows up as a 3-digit number is the giant, obvious neon building.
665? Or,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It is also the kind of blindingly obvious thing that Alan would write into one of his novels. Alan
if Alan's
turned
a hack.
and there. Alan
Yes.
make you hack. Yes. Like,
I don't know if I made this comment when we played through Alan Wake the first time. Writing yourself into the story is a very Stephen King thing to do, because Stephen King did that.
yes, he did. So,
I mean,
because-
Stephen King did basically everything.
In a slight defense for Alan Wake in this one, I don't think he wrote himself into stories.
So, in the first game, we established that you can't just make shitty art and make
Right.
it come to life. There has to be some kind of, like, skill and passion and craft in it. At the same time, Alan just wants to leave. So Alan's putting in, like, airport romance novel levels of work for these novels. He's probably capable of writing better, especially in his chosen genre of, like, crime dramas.
Yeah, I mean, he's an accomplished writer prior to Dark Place nonsense occurring to him.
Yeah, and most of his novels were
Hello?
horror novels. Oh, hey, look at that!
I mean, we saw.
Ah, Lorraine! There you are, Tom. Oh, not so much evil that not a bit of good as well. Not one without the other. Good to see you.
Hey, I can't seem to find my way out of here. Can you point me to the exit?
Not helvetis. Of course, Tom. The work will instruct its maker. I was gonna get something from the basement for you, but you can get it yourself now. The more cooks, the worse the soup.
Have we met before? Are you trapped in the dark place?
You don't
too?
know Ahti? Everyone knows Ahti.
The janitor. You can't be lost if you don't worry about where you are headed. So don't worry, Tom. The sun will shine even into a heap of twigs. Just remember to turn on the lights. It won't take long when you get to work.
What do you want me to get from the basement? And my name's Alan, not Tom.
Ja, mutta katsoppa, kun a man, but a man with a tool makes two, Tom. Eikö niin? And a man with a tool can build his own exit. It's in a shoebox, in the basement where you left it. Safe as in the Lord's purse. Here's the key.
Thank you, Ahti.
I've been trying to find a way to escape the dark place. Any suggestions?
He who mouths about his troubles is the prisoner of his troubles. It's not easy to get out. But don't you worry, Tom. The home is still there where the heart is. I often think about it when I mop the floor and look into the puddle. Water is the memory of the world. Water finds its way.
The janitor was a bit out there, but still a friendly face. I had to trust the basement would get me out of here.
Okay. So, to catch Vince up, because Vince didn't watch the last, or the VOD for Alan Wake 1. I don't know if he's watched it yet.
No, I have not.
Okay. To briefly condense, Thomas Zane is a poet who lived in Bright Falls previously before Alan Wake showed up there. Throughout the first game, there is a question of, is Alan Wake doing things of his own volition? Or did Thomas Zane write something that involved Alan Wake? Is Alan Wake even real, or was he created by Thomas Zane? And like most horror stuff, or like most good horror stuff, as Alan explicitly calls out, the game doesn't explain it. The game brings up the question, but does not talk about the relationship between Thomas Zane and Alan, except from Alan's point of view, who insists he is a real person, he has always been a real person, and the only thing Thomas Zane is doing for him is giving him things to fight the darkness. We are not going to talk about Thomas Zane yet, because we will meet Thomas Zane in this game. When we meet Tom, we are going to have a long discussion about Thomas Zane. Because because I have some opinions about how they handled him in this game. Also, we're just not going to question Ahti. Ahti goes where he pleases and cleans where he must.
Do we want to go into Ahti?
We can go into Ahti for people who didn't watch the control stream.
Do we want to go into the supposed who or what Ahti actually is? Because I don't know if the game ever does.
Yes, because we should have gone over it in control, but I legitimately forgot to.
I think we specifically didn't go over control because we knew he was going to show up in Alan too.
But we can go over it.
Yeah. So this is Ahti. Obviously, you've seen the control. We played through control. He is a janitor. He is also more than likely specifically a Finnish pagan god who is the god of waters. And constantly cleaning things as a janitor. He is actually here in this weird place we are. We will meet Ahti later on in another place where he is vacationing.
Yes, that is another thing in the timeline. We get to see where Ahti is vacationing when he goes on his vacation in control.
Yes, when Ahti goes on his vacation in control, he is going to a specific place where he will appear. But
Interesting.
Ati slash Otto, it's a character from Finnish folklore. Can be connected to the Sampo as well as the Tree of Life. Heavily associated with the ocean. So basically, they put a Finnish god in the game.
I mean, with everything else that's been in here, that's not surprising.
No.
Which is also like why it makes sense that Ati is just hanging around in the area of control and no one really bothers him, or why he shows up in the dark place.
Oh, by the way, now we have the map. Sorry, I've been kind of meandering as we talk.
Yeah.
Just giving us a chance to talk about stuff. Also, one last note: when Ati mentioned the looking into the puddles for guidance, that's a little bit of gameplay and story integration. The method by which we transport from Saga's chapters to Alan's is most save games have a or save rooms have a janitor's mop and bucket in them. And interacting with the janitor's mop and bucket are how we get through. Ati, the map clearly says I need to go through this door. But you have not moved your...
No, it says it's locked.
Well,
It
no,
doesn't say
it
you
says
need to
that
go through
door
there
is
yet.
locked.
Yeah, but we have the key for it.
Do we?
Yes, he handed us the
Yes, he gave us our key.
They gave you the basement key.
Yeah, I gave you the basement
Yeah.
key.
So you can go to the basement.
dressing room. Well, now that we have the map, let's actually find the basement.
Like you can see the connection to the basement on the map.
Oh, yeah. Down there.
That is a basement shortcut right next to him, but it's not the main door to the basement.
Yeah, it's right here. Janitor's key. So, Alan's chapters through this game are usually more cerebral and, like, mind-bending stuff.
The talk show host?
Good evening. A writer trapped in a dream world attempts to write a story to shape reality around him and escape. He is beset
I'll be
by
back.
visions leaking in from realities beyond his own. He uses those visions as inspiration for his stories, in hopes of giving them power to make them come true. Us, hidden few, know that ultimately he will succeed. But before that, many of his stories collapse back into the stuff that dreams are made of, to remain as they began, works of fiction. And yet, maybe there is a gleam of truth to be unearthed from these tales. Rare glimpse into the unseen realities beyond our own, offering us intriguing avenues of contemplation as they transpire in Night Springs.
So yeah, that's the season intro for Night Springs. Night Springs is the DLC for the game, or one of the two DLCs for the game.
Hi, Victor.
Night Springs, a special place, a shifting space, existing in a countless number of parallel realities. Sometimes a quaint small town, sometimes a hulking metropolis. Different every time we set upon the road that leads us there. And yet, like a half-remembered echo of a fading dream, always familiar to us. These are the stories that take place there. Awe-inspiring, macabre, terrifying, heartbreaking, nail-biting, absurd, and thrilling. Sometimes all of these things at once. A haunting new season of mind-bending episodes, written by Alan Wake. I am your host, Dorland Dorr, and I will see you soon in Night Springs.
Right.
Oh, they're not going to play the theme song.
Unfortunate.
The new theme song for Night Springs is a bop. It's actually on Spotify.
Nice.
An old lamp in a shoebox. Was this what the janitor had left for me?
Oh, that was the other thing I meant to cover after we talked to Ati. Again, Vince, something that came from the first game. Alan's mother hid things in shoeboxes for him. And so Alan, in his childhood, thought that shoeboxes had some sort of magical permanence to them. That they were, like, safe, where, dark and scary things couldn't get the objects inside. And also that shoeboxes are temporal, that you could put things in a shoebox and pull them out of another shoebox.
If I remember correctly, in Alan Wake 1, the clicker was in a shoebox.
Yes, the clicker was specifically in a shoebox because his mother had given him the clicker to scare away monsters when he was a very, very young child. In this game, apart from this moment, the shoebox acts as our item storage in save rooms. So, like, from this point forward, we're going to start finding shoeboxes.
A tool for bringing light to the darkness. I felt a magnetic pull between the lamp and the light overhead.
One of the things I noticed, but I have never actually looked up before, I'm fairly certain the design of the lamp, which we never really get a good look at again, is supposed to be reminiscent of, like, an award.
I mean, how's that
It
general
does
look?
have a very, like, Academy Award
Whoa! When the light jumped
look
into
to
my
it.
lab, the whole
Yeah.
room changed. Like something in a dream.
And here is Alan's
Opening
main
away from the
mechanic.
wood, the lamp was humming.
Now
The
that
bulb glowed. It held the light now.
now that we have the lamp, we can, in places where there's especially bright light, grab the light and put it into the lamp. This changes the room into a B configuration from its original A configuration, which oftentimes lets us through or solve puzzles. This is, like, the one consistent
I felt another surge from the lamp.
thing
I
that
could
they
use it
will
again.
be using
The
over
glow
and
in
over.
the lamp went out, shifting the light in the room. The light carved out something new from the darkness.
Now we walk through, we take the light back, now we're on the other side of the grate. Go up. And though we have gone up here,
The dark place wants to drown me. I'm losing myself. I have to fight it. I have to remember. The clicker. The light switch. I lost it. But I have the lamp now. The lamp the switch was cut from. This place is a nightmare. Not real, and yet more real than anything. The danger and the horror are real. It feeds off my mind. Twisting whatever it takes into psychotic reality. I'm trapped here. I write to escape. I've tried this many times, written countless stories, forgotten how many. I keep failing, but I must keep trying. I use the story to dive deeper. Every word I write is a step forward on this spiral in the darkness. I dive to the bottom to find the answer, the map, and the key, the compass. It's combined to form a door leading out. But how do you open a door that's not a door? At the bottom of an ocean that's not an ocean, and a lake that's not a lake.
End of part.
yes. So each chapter ends with a piece of music, like we have mentioned before. The music in this game was specifically designed for Alan Wake 2 and designed to not trigger various
Copyrights.
copyright
The MCA.
flags. Yeah.
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 Quick save. Still don't have a box. So yeah, we do. So yeah, we have a shoebox. Shoebox can store items. Items cannot be passed from Alan to Saga. Each one has a separate shoebox, but the items in one don't transfer or can't be transferred to the other. So I have thought,
The payphone was ringing. Somehow I knew the call was for me.
So I have thought and done research, and debated how we're going to divvy up the chapters. And I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep going until we hit a point where Saga and Alan meet. And when we do that, we will then swap over to the other character and see how that other character got to where they are.
Hello?
Alan Wake?
Yes.
Do you know who I am?
No? Who is this?
We'll get to that later. There are spies all over. Shadows.
A sense of deja vu washed over me. Had I had this conversation before?
Alan, listen to me carefully. Caldera Street Station, the subway. You need to go there. I'll call you again later. Make sure to pick up.
Do I know you? I know you somewhere.
You've just forgotten again. We're in this together. Don't worry. I got it now. We've been working. Great.
I'm losing you. Hello? Hello?
A convenient subway pass.
All right.
How convenient. Casey. Station 2. So,
The man had said Caldera Street Station. I had to go there.
okay. So, as we get into Casey, we are going to start getting into the reason I recommend just playing this game on story and not doing it on any harder difficulty. Remember how I said that in Saga's chapter, the flashlights no longer have a minimum charge. You can run out of flashlight power. In Saga's chapters, that doesn't become much of a problem. Because the enemies come at you in like 1s and 2s, or 2s and 3s in the story section. In Alan's chapters, there are these phantoms all over the place that look like this guy. Now, there are fake phantoms, and there are real phantoms. You cannot tell a fake phantom from a real phantom until a little later in the game when the phantoms start getting more aggressive in general, without using a flashlight charge to dispel the darkness. If it's a fake phantom, the phantom will just disappear. If it's a real phantom, it will coalesce into one of the Taken guys, and you'll fight them just like you would in Saga. You are not given enough flashlight charges to be able to shadow or to blast every shadow. If you take that opportunity to just be like, oh, I'm going to check everybody with the flashlight, you will run out of flashlight power and not be able to fight. And there are some mandatory combat sections in this game.
Is this the way it was on the page?
What the hell? Oh, hey. We met at Door's show.
Alan Wake, the writer. I'm Alex Casey. I'm looking into a murder.
Come on, what is this?
Now this is Sam Lake playing Alan Casey,
Of a novel.
the actual Alan Casey from the book.
Yes, this is Sam Lake playing Alex Casey, the detective
I need to see it.
from the novels.
Rumor had it the manuscript
Maybe.
contained the details of the murders. A murder cult was following the story to commit their gruesome acts. Was Wake their leader? Had he written it? How far would he go to create a perfect work of art? Or would he be the next victim? Stay here.
No, wait! I need a gun!
No chance.
No, wait, you need a flashlight. Good news, Alan, you can get a gun now.
Yeah. Alex Casey doesn't need it.
Casey!
Damn it. I remember dying in this alley in a dream I had. He was just gonna keep killing me here, loop by loop. You're not gonna get what you want. You think you know. You know shit. You don't really want to know. You're gonna get what's coming to you.
This was an echo of the books I had written for years. Picking up Casey's gun felt like I was assuming the role of the detective. I have a light now.
Take
I
this
can
light.
use it to make my way deeper.
This spot's gone. There's guys over there. Those are almost certainly real ones to teach us about combat. Okay. You may have noticed that we are also getting these icons here in the dark place. Oh, right. Now that I've opened the door, I can put the light back. Right. This one does not just exist until later?
There
Oh,
was
no, there it
something
is.
hidden here. A phrase repeated over and over. The words resonated with meaning. Had I written this?
Close the doors. So Alex doesn't get, or not Alex, Alan doesn't get manuscript pages. Alan gets words of power that we find in those little rings that we get pointed to by the bioluminescent paint. There are various different types of words that we find. The one we just found was words of fix.
God Ray.
Yep.
You're actually going to go ahead and grab that.
Just don't get hit. You don't need extra health and safety.
Sure.
Yep.
Words of gun.
Yeah, words of gun, words of war, words of aid, words of stuff.
Very descriptive, Alan. Such a fucking hack writer, I swear to God.
Words of action, and words of lamp. Lucky Strike is one of the most valuable if you're doing an actual normal playthrough, because it gives you a chance to regain flashlight charges. Also, we got a bot. The bot has made his move.
I called him out.
Shit. With the alley in darkness now, restless shadows block my way.
All three of those guys were fake.
Okay, so you want some information about shadows?
Yeah.
Okay. Some ways to tell if they're hostile shadows or non-hostile shadows. Obvious way to tell a hostile shadow if it actually has a weapon. That one's pretty basic. If these shadows aren't moving, they won't do anything. If they just stand still the entire time, they're not actually going to be an aggro or enemy shadow. If they move towards you, it's basically 50-50. If you just keep your flashlight on them for about 10 seconds, if they're not a hostile shadow, they'll dissipate. So you don't actually have to ever need to use the boost that uses flashlight bar in terms of what they are.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay then.
You
Valuable.
just got to be patient.
Valuable information that this game never tells you.
Faded out. Until they didn't. They were trying to stop me. With the gun and flashlight, I could fight back.
Yeah. Well, that is valuable information and does improve the experience. Playing in story mode, you're usually good by just running by. If you get clipped by a shadow, most of the time it's just trivial damage.
Obviously, if a shadow has a weapon, it's bad. If a shadow is not moving, you can just ignore it. Shadows that do not move will never be enemies. If a shadow is moving, just keep your light focused on it, and if it doesn't eventually burn away after 5 to 10 seconds, hit it with a blast.
Sign was there, but the entrance was missing.
But you can burn away any shadow just by keeping the light pointed on it long enough it's not an enemy one.
Entrance. The lamp was dead in my hand. I needed to find a light for it. I needed to find a way around that fence.
So by the way, welcome to Condensed Evil New York. This will be our hub for all the Dark World stuff. We repeatedly come back here and action. Oh god! That was legitimately
God.
spooky.
Yeah, that
Well,
one just
quite
kind
a
of
steel
jumped out on
chair,
me.
but still.
Great oogly moogly.
Yeah, should have calmly burned this one away and woo! Getcha.
Was a great decoy.
Yep, that's
Yep.
why they always come in clusters like that. Okay, so I forgot. Now I need to go back down that long alleyway, get the light, bring it back here. Shush with the rumbling, no one cares.
Oh.
I did not come here for spooky times. I came here for nonsense
the
writer
light to
making
open
his
the
own
subway
writing
entrance
coming
now.
true. Stuff.
But I was gonna offer you bottomless darkness.
I can already get Bottomless Darkness from Xehanort.
It's a great deal. Why would you want bottomless darkness from that goblin?
Crazy as air, or it's Bottomless Darkness Emporium.
Yeah. His is organically grown darkness, not like that factory stuff.
2 tickets for bottomless darkness.
I needed to get back to the subway
Yeah,
station.
and he's
entrance.
always handing out coupons. Oh, fuck.
Free Nordic with every purchase.
Bring the kids.
Doesn't sound like a deal, I'll be honest. I don't think I want Bottomless Darkness anymore.
The other thing you can do to partially save flashlight charges is just run up in melee, because melee will get rid of will dispel a shadow.
Ah. Smack. Ah, excellent.
So that is another way to quickly tell if it is a real or fake one, because if it's a fake one, it will just go away when you melee it.
About to come up and give you an Alan whack.
Alan whack too.
You have no idea how much I had to resist doing a wake up, Alan, wake during the Fortnite thing.
Before we go any further, we got a new word of power. Words of action. Hey, you real? You have to tell me if you're a ghost. You should not have given me this knowledge.
See, it's gonna be hilarious when you actually encounter a real one, and it just
It's gonna
takes and
whack.
goes.
Yeah, it's gonna whack back. That's the thing. If you melee this guy, they're probably gonna whack you back because you haven't in the shadows. But out of like everything that is currently on these rooftops, I'm gonna guess that maybe one of the shadows over there is a real guy. The number of fakes to reals, especially in story mode, is not insignificant.
Oh, I bet.
Careful now. Careful now.
Like, and again, you don't even need to be meleeing these ones. If they don't move, they're not enemies.
Yeah, I know. I was doing it for a bit.
But have fun. Swing away.
Chug that coffee.
Chug, chug, chug,
Damn
chug.
fine coffee.
Chug, chug, chug.
Hey, Bills.
Bales here. Judging from the way the UI is set up, I'm assuming you get more inventory.
There is specifically one ability we can unlock for Alan that gives him another row of inventory. That's it.
There's a word of power.
Yeah.
Saga gets 3
We
more
did actually.
inventory
Okay,
slots.
it's like I know I saw that Saga had expandable inventory.
Yes. Alan also does, but only one more.
Okay.
To be fair, Saga gets to carry around more equipment than Alan does.
Yeah.
That's a case ripper.
Word of Lamp.
Word of Lamp. I don't have to focus on you. You should just give this to me.
Work for it.
There we go. It's finicky about its
Not
target.
out of the right angle.
Just do Lucky Strike. Alan had had enough of this bullshit. He readied his backhand and made it strong. Side here. Yep. A box of random stuff.
Does Alan get charms?
No, Alan does not get charms. Charms are
Okay.
specifically a Saga thing. He gets more boosts, like The charms and the words are supposed to be analogous.
Ah, okay.
I know there's quite a lot of words. Shiv, if you see me run by any obvious ones, or you know of any obvious ones that I miss, I'm not looking for 100% on them, just...
I can pull the list.
We can ask Rockapella. He'll tell us what the word on the street is.
You've already missed 17.
Which is amazing, because there's only 15 in-game. Though, to be honest, just judging by... well, no. Because each category has 3 sections with 3 levels to them. So, I would assume there's a lot.
That one? We just did that one.
Die, Casey.
It's actually German. It's the Casey. The.
Yeah, so all the graffiti in this game is either, like, stuff about Alex Casey, stuff about Alice, or berating Alan for being a shit writer.
I mean, that's fair. Oh no, you're gonna summon the Horde!
Oop, oop, that's not of the police.
I don't care. Bye. I'm not about to punish a peaceful gathering of ephemeral beings.
Making you much better than a cop. I mean, not tough.
And there's our first puzzle done. In what I would only, in the barest configuration of the term, call a
I
dungeon.
needed to find another light to go deeper inside.
Oh yeah, it's gotta go deeper.
So now we need to go back, grab the other light. And bring it down to the station. Go forward.
Do not run.
Load.
Did that say don't sleep again?
Yes.
The gates to the platform were closed.
Oh.
I had a ticket.
Oh, I actually just missed one, actually.
Just missed one?
Well, but back where you did the police car thing.
Oh, okay. No, we can still go back.
There's not a great order to the...
Yeah, like I said, I'm not worried about 100%. I beat the game with finding what was probably a dismal amount of the words of power. But I was also powering through the game, just trying to beat it.
Yeah.
So you would get to be
Oh,
ready
yeah, I
for
see.
when we did this? Yep.
Yeah.
Word of gun!
I don't care. I don't care, you're all stinky.
Or still very nice.
Shower in something that's not rain or darkness.
Step up the light here. We are gonna go ahead for one particular section that is coming up in the future.
Nice.
And get sunny skies.
Yeah, my normal thought on that, or like between those 3 options, based on what you'd said about supplies, would have been for a chance to not consume ammo. But
Yeah.
you seem blessed with knowledge of shit coming up.
Yeah, number one, the shadows here have the same strength as the shadows in Saga's chapter, so one shot to the head will kill them, and I'm gonna be honest, most of the shadows here, once you take out their inventory, or their invulnerability, the shot to the body will usually kill them in class, or in story mode. So I'm more concerned about flashlight ammo than I am about revolver ammo.
That's fair.
Something about the station platform felt significant.
So
It would work in
turn to your
my
right.
writing, but I needed more. Something lingered here.
To your right a little
A
more.
forgotten memory. An echo.
Okay, not the right area.
It might be on the other side of the barrier here.
It might also be you need to do a light thing first. Open the map real quick.
Opening the map. Writer's room is currently unavailable. Because they want me to do this first.
Okay.
An FBI agent had come here before me on the trail of a murder cult. He'd gone missing, presumed dead. The cult was leaving me clues to follow, connecting the dots from one murder to the next, inviting me to draw an obscene picture on the city map. Caldera
The dick.
Street Station. The name made me think of the exit wound of a bullet.
I had a flash of inspiration. The ghost of my
Is that called a caldera?
A story thread I could use in my writing.
No, but he's deliberately drawing attention between the shape of a caldera and the shape of an exit wound from a bullet.
Okay.
I had a location.
Okay.
I had a story thread. I would put them together, write them into my story to create a path deeper into the dark place.
Yeah, so Alan doesn't get the plot or the case board like Saga does. He gets his writing inspiration board here.
Makes sense.
So we will find scenes and we will apply concepts to scenes. Apply the right concept to the right
changes
scene.
shaped the world around me. The dark place reacted to my story.
And this is
The
probably
road to
where
the
you were
tunnels
talking
was
about.
no
Yeah.
longer blocked.
Yep.
So you can see it.
It's inside the train car.
See it through. Yeah.
What a
Another
gun.
word of gun. And then we will also go ahead and just do another point to Sunny Skies.
Better flares.
Better flare gun. Specifically, better flare gun. Doesn't affect flares by themselves, like the hand ones.
Puddle.
Also, so two things about this station. Number one, we're gonna have a talk about Alex Casey a lot later. I'm putting off the talk about him because there's something we need to see before we get full context for what the fuck is going on with Alex Casey. Both the character, the movie character, and the FBI agent.
Yeah.
So the character, and the character.
The character.
Yes, the character, the character, and the character.
The three different characters.
Number two, and a minor thing, but a really nice little bit of world building. All of the signage in Caldera Street and down here is replaced with quotes from Alan. And most of these are quotes from the first game.
Nice.
I've always had a vivid imagination, but this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird even by my standards. So yes, it began with a dream. I'm not going to go over all of them, but also a lot of them are just insults to Alan. You can just make up stuff. You think you can play with people's lives and kill them when you think it adds to the drama. You are in this story now, and I'll make you suffer. And the line about Stephen King. Yeah,
he mentions him in the first game.
Yeah, he mentions him a couple times in the first game. Because
You may not be the only you out there.
Yeah.
The Fed had glimpsed into the maw of darkness. It swallowed him whole.
Can we take that wrench?
We cannot take the wrench. As much as I would like to be Alan Wrench.
The tracks led into the tunnel. That was my way forward.
In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one.
Can we take the Bigfoot drawing on the wall?
No, we cannot take the Bigfoot drawing.
Hit by drain.
This isn't Resident Evil 6.
Lost.
Killed by a laser
The
field.
blood trail continued deeper into darkness.
That would be Resident Evil 4.
Excuse me.
OG.
Wrong button. This is a realness check.
Are you real? Thwack! Ow, my jaw!
God, I wish I wasn't.
That knowledge has totally transformed this section for me. Alan's just a jerk now. Wow.
What do you mean now?
Alan's always been a jerk, yes.
What's your face?
Boom.
I mean, that's fair. You've been getting in their face.
Hey. Spooky yet? Okay.
Shoebox.
Shoebox.
Night Springs doesn't exist.
Yeah, this just exists. It's a fictional town from the TV show I used to work on. It was Any Place USA, a place we used as a backdrop for whatever strange story we had that week. One of the stories I wrote for the show involved a man, the champion of light, fighting his evil double, the Herald of Darkness. Another line from the first album.
Deputy Mulligan tuned Thornton's chatter out.
Yeah. He didn't think writers were particularly useful people, and a huge manhunt for one struck him as idiotic. Certainly not worth the missed opportunity for coffee and pie. It wasn't even clear what the man had done except run from them to the trailer park. Mulligan knew he wasn't alone. The sheriff's patience with the Fed was running out. Around real quick.
Stop 1 second. Stop 1 second. To the right.
Huh. Ah. Words of aid. I'm just gonna get Torchbearer.
Makes
That
sense.
gives you better hand flares. That way's nothing but bottomless darkness. That way's
It could not be opened on this side.
That was an odd line read.
There's occasional odd line reads. He's reading a good chunk of dialogue for this game. He's allowed a few odd little ones here and there.
The tunnels were a maze.
I mean, it kind of stood out because of how... Okay. It kind of stood out because almost all the other line reads are really good.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about this game is that the acting and voice acting both have been top-notch.
Mm-hmm.
And remain that way throughout.
Another place to use in the story. I needed to search the tunnels for further visions. Inspiration for the story that would lead me deeper. I had found another compelling location to use.
Let's see what happens if we had missing FBI agent to this scene.
I changed the story, and with that, the dark place changed.
Another one in here.
Painkillers. Alan, I'm starting to notice a worrying trend.
With the lamp?
Here.
Word of Lamp. Let's give him a lucky strike.
There's actually a ton of these words of power inside the train station section.
Another echo lingered here. A source of inspiration.
Before we do that. Go down here and see if there's another one. Doesn't look like it.
Next. Next word of power one.
Got it. Lights.
That's the one we just got.
Yeah,
You got that one.
I guess it's just more clearly pointed out here.
What the word is, your research can help me, ma'am. What do you know?
There's more than one urban legend about the Cult of the Word. The murder cult used these tunnels for their ritual sacrifices. They say the cult reenacted the murders in Alan Wake's crime books. That Wake was even involved somehow, under a false identity. Mr. Scratch, which is, of course, a nickname for the devil himself.
It was disturbing finding myself in the story this way. But I was desperate, and it felt right for the story.
Haha! You
A real
revealed
boy.
yourself!
The shadows melted away. I was alone. For now.
Alright. Alright, I feel better about this now.
It's bad luck to be on this case. The cult can get you anywhere with that black magic shit. Let the day shift handle it. What happened, anyway?
Some Fed came looking for the cult,
Are,
but it was
are we sure this isn't Alan Wake looking at like stuff from the future because he is in fact a crazy man running through train tunnels, murdering people, claiming that they're Shadow?
They're unholy motherfuckers.
That would follow our consensus on Alan Wake 1.
It's a crazy guy murdering people in the woods.
Uh-huh.
I had a new idea. A new story thread.
About this guy who ran through a train station, clubbing random people and then shooting them.
Great murdering.
But to him, he was doling out justice against the darkness of the world.
The murder cult was following the story to commit their gruesome acts. Was Wake their leader? Had he written it? How far would he go to create a perfect work of art? Or would he be the next victim?
Okay. So I was checking because when Saga finds a manuscript page, it never reads the full thing.
Right.
But when Alan sees one of those visions, when we cover the light with darkness to make the little eclipse symbol, we are always seeing the complete thing. I was checking there on the room to make sure of that. Right. But anyway, now that we've gotten a new word, we can go back here to the collapse tunnel.
I was making my way deeper into the story. I could imagine this murder cult performing their macabre acts beyond the collapsed tunnel. The cultists laid the Casey novel onto the altar with reverence. Their twisted Bible.
Unfortunately, we do not get the
Cultist.
option to
The cultist women fell in love with Alan Wake and went to his house.
No.
They brought him a double cheeseburger and the
Cheeseburger.
Diet Coke. They wouldn't get things wrong, unlike the DoorDash driver.
The water was gone. The way forward was open.
I feel like getting awfully specific.
And
Oh, I remember the oil derrick.
yeah, there's a line from American Nightmare. when Alan decided to write a satellite crashing into something just to see if he could.
It worked.
It did, in fact, work.
Imagine the darkness goes, that's stupid. But it'll look cool. Fuck it.
So first off, we're going to grab this map. Second, we're going to find out who's home. No. No. Okay, we're not going to get stuck on geometry, and we're going to find out who's humming.
Hello. Oh. Hey, Alan.
Oh, hey, Mr. Breaker.
Sorry. Have we met?
Memory problems again, huh? Yeah, we've met. Tim Breaker. We've shared notes. Hey, I've made some progress on the map if you want to take a look. I still haven't found my mystery man, though.
You're making a map.
Trying to. It's hard to map a dream, though. I keep ending up in unexpected places. I find interesting things like those strange markings that react to the light, but never the one thing that I'm looking for. Feel free to check the map out. Oh, I've been stockpiling supplies while I poke around. If you find a stash, take anything you need.
I appreciate the help. Who's
Thank
this
you,
mystery
Iceman.
man?
Oh, it wouldn't be much of a mystery if I knew. All I have is a name. Warland Dorr.
The talk show host?
No. No, that doesn't sound like him. The guy has many disguises, but a talk show host? No. I'll keep looking. Oh, that's my crazy wall. I'm just trying to make sense of things. Don't judge me.
I'll trade you walls any day.
Remember, I was at the morgue. I was about to get the evidence to the FBI. Dorr transported me here to this dream reality. Why? Who? Where? Why? Motive? Why me? Facts. Missing time. No memory. Until now. Have I always ended up here? Will I forget when I get out? Abducted. Aliens? Dorr? UFOs. Polyhedrons. Dreams. Me, but not me. Others I know, yet they are different. The red-headed woman? Yeah, references to Jesse and references to polyhedrons, which could be a reference to the board. Or at least to the triangle shape that the board likes.
Makes sense.
Alright,
There was also that note with polyhedrons earlier in the other chapter.
I'm taking your stuff.
I mean...
Oh, you don't have any stuff. That's sad.
Get
Feel
fucked,
sad.
Alan.
Because, hey, he said he was stockpiling stuff that you could take, but I guess not.
Yeah, so we will find stockpiles like this in like briefcases.
Okay.
Stuck around places. Those are stockpiles specifically from Tim.
Hey, Alan, how about we go check out my my fucks folder? My fucks locker. You find it empty and is barren.
Be around, Tim. Oh, stop playing the spooky music. No one cares. I heard you.
Creepy.
Cynthia Weaver, Rose, Agent Nightingale. Oh! Oh, you
That
got
guy.
me!
Face.
My rebuttal. You have surprised me. I have killed you. Thus making me the better writer.
Yeah, I'm really starting to suspect he might just be crazy again. Guy opens a door in his face and he responds to the shine a flashlight in the guy's face and then shoot him.
The idea of Alan
I mean,
just
what would you
running, who has now just completely lost his mind and has just...
Oh, I don't think your book's very good. Bang bang! Oh shit! Alan, the reason you don't like the DoorDash service anymore is you keep shooting people. They don't send people to deliver food to you anymore.
I like that the food delivery service has been added to this plot.
That's why he has to have the cult. He has to write the cultist into his book to deliver food to him.
Yeah. So basically, that's what Alan's trying to do now. He's trying to write an Alex Casey story that will wind its way through the dark place and lead him out. Alright, save now that we've seen that. And that's actually probably going to be a good place for us to call it.
Fair enough.
It's our usual time. Thank you for joining us as we've played through Alan Wake. I've made some significant discoveries about Alan Wake's chapter that is going to make it significantly funnier to play through. Join us on Sunday when we will be continuing our playthrough of Super Robot Wars 30. We will meet even more DLC characters, and they'll probably have opinions about Char.
As they should.
And join us on Monday for the continuation of Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclock as we continue trying to find a way out of the Yamanote line before apparently we are all EMP'd to death.
The microwaves get really powerful.
With a plot twist so wild, you'd expect Alan Wake.
No. Death via EMP is not the only way that we can die.
True.
Anyway, I've been the Krampus.
I've been Shiv.
I've been Hunter Grain.
And I'm Vincent.
And remember, everyone, keep your eyes out for the secret Peelverine hidden in Alan Wake 2 somewhere.